Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on a beautiful day. Oh, why do I do this to myself? We're going to talk about romance novels that make grown men cry. And as I was putting this together, my heart. So I want to start with Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. It's a beautiful story. It's a mystery. It's a thriller. It's in that beautiful prose that you guys know I love. And did it touch my heart. And I want to share with you just some of this writing. And you'll know right away if you have to go out and get this book today. And I think you will. I want to share with you some modern romance novels that are out, some very popular authors. I have a few honorable mentions, and then I also have a story for you. And it's a true story, and it'll rip your heart open in the most beautiful way. But I got to start with this. So let me set this up real quick. So Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I think the reason it hit me so hard, I have this memory. It was Thanksgiving, and my whole family was at my house. We had Thanksgiving dinner at my house. It was the first time ever, and I didn't know it, but it was going to be my grandpa's last year with us, and I think he knew. And I remember him, I was just watching him, and my mom and her sisters, my aunts were in the kitchen and with my wife, and they're cooking, and just the smell of Thanksgiving. All the kids and grandkids were running and playing with their toys and outside on their skateboards and scooters and just laughing and giggling. And then, of course, my dad and the uncles were in watching the game on the couch on the watching TV, and I just watched my grandpa, and he was just looking and like trying to savor it, hold it. I remember he took off his glasses and he wiped his eyes, and he was savoring every minute. I don't think anyone else knew what was going on, what he was freezing it in time to recall it. And so then when I read this, oh my gosh, the tears. Listen to this, guys. So let me set it up. She's sitting outside of their family home with her family, and they're just finishing up lunch in the garden. She says, I wanted to go on sitting there, not talking, not listening to others, keeping the moment precious for all time. Because we were peaceful, all of us, we were content and drowsy, even as the bee who droned above our heads. In a little while, it would be different. There would come tomorrow and the next day and another year, and we would be changed, perhaps never sitting quite like this again. Some of us would go away or suffer or die. The future stretched away in front of us, unknown, unseen. Not perhaps what we wanted, not what we planned. This moment was safe, though. This could not be touched. Here, it moves me, guys. Here we sat together, Maxim and I, hand in hand, and the past and the future mattered not at all. This was secure. This funny fragment of time he would never remember. I'm such a baby. Never think about again. He would not hold it sacred. He was talking about cutting away some of the undergrowth in the drive. And Beatrice agreed, interrupting with some suggestion of her own, throwing a piece of grass at Giles at the same time. For them, it was just another lunch. 3:15 on a haphazard afternoon, like any hour, like any day. They did not want to hold it close, imprisoned and secure as I did. They were not afraid. My God. This is what I was telling you about, guys. Why do I do this to myself? Words. Is there anything more brutal, anything more beautiful than words. Oh, and if that wasn't bad enough, oh my God, I'm about to share with you a story that it's a true story. This is a poet. Her name was Robia. She's from the 8th century. Matter of fact, if any of you that love Sufi poetry like I do, she influenced Rumi. As a matter of fact, she was born about 500 years before Rumi. And she, as just a young girl, was separated from her parents. And she was sold into a brothel to work as a S worker. And, you know, when I hear something like that, because I have a daughter myself, and to think of her having to go through that, it breaks my heart. My friends, but what, it's not even that brought the emotion out in me, the tears in my eyes. It was how she overcame it. It was just that strength of her heart that could still see the beauty in the world. You know, again, that wouldn't let the world dim her light. And she ended up becoming a saint. People would come to her to get healing. Right? She's the one that should be broken and bitter, but she's healing others. And she would never take any money for it. You know, it was said she was bought by, well, not bought, how would you say that? She was freed by a rich patron in her 50s. So she worked from a small child to her 50s in that brothel, and then a rich patron bought her freedom. And from that time on, she just wanted to serve God and help and love others. She never took any money for it. And I love this quote here. Everyone loved her. And so one of the people that came for healing left a bag of gold for her on the floor. And here's what she said. She said, "Dear, if you leave that, flies will gather as if a horse just relieved himself, and I might slip in it while dancing." My friends, she didn't care about money and status. She cared about love, and it shows in her poetry. So beautiful. Can I read just a few of them to you and see if you feel this? This is Robia. She says, "The sky gave me its heart because it knew mine was not large enough to care for the earth the way it did." I'm a baby today, guys. Why is it we think of God so much? Why is there so much talk about love? When an animal is wounded, no one has to tell it you need to heal. So naturally, it will nurse itself the best it can. My eye kept telling me something is missing from all I see. So it went in search for the cure. The cure for me was his beauty. The remedy for me was to love. And this is simple but deep. Listen, it's called It Works. Would you come if someone called you by the wrong name? I wept for years because he did not enter my arms. Then one night I was told a secret. Perhaps the name you call God is not really his. Maybe it is just an alias. I thought about this and came up with a pet name for my beloved. I never mention it to others. All I can say is it works. And I think that's beautiful. People go to war and kill each other over an argument about what they should call God, the highest principle of love and good and beauty. Do you call him Allah, Jehovah, right? And they'll fight and they'll kill. And it doesn't matter the name. It's the spirit behind the name. It is the spirit behind what you call your God, that pure love, that pure light, that pure kindness, that loving parent. And so I love she just made up a pet name. And when she calls him by that name, he's there. It's beautiful. Can I read maybe just a couple more? Are you guys enjoying this? Are you still with me? I'm having a hard time reading because my eyes are getting all blurry, but it just touches my heart, and I was hoping you'd feel it. Oh my God, my God, my God. Oh, this is beautiful. Listen to this. This is called Cherish Myself. I know how it will be when I die. My beauty will be so extraordinary that God will worship me. He will not worship me from a distance, for our minds will have wed. Our souls will have flowed into each other. How to say this? God and I will forever cherish myself. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, and I mean, she's got tons of them. I think I'll just stop there. You get the idea of it. Just beautiful, beautiful heart, a beautiful soul. And it's just good to know that people like that walked on this earth. A couple others I want to share with you guys that I just loved. The Unhoneymooners. And this is by Christina Lauren. It's two authors that write together. And I just love their stuff. And this one, it just spoke to me. I laughed. I lost myself in the story. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it's an enemies to lovers trope, which is always fun. And so it's the best man and then the maid of honor. They end up taking the honeymoon because the bride and groom and the whole wedding party got food poisoning except for those two. So they take the honeymoon. And of course, at first, all the bickering and fighting and stuff, and the banter, it's perfect. I love that kind of banter back and forth. And then they fall in love. I love this. The Unhoneymooners. And then this one, I didn't know anything. I just saw it on the shelf, grabbed it, and it touched me. It's one of those books when you're done, you just hold it to your chest, and it's just beautiful. And so I'll just, let me just read the very front of it. It says, "What if your imaginary friend from childhood was your one true love?" So this is Sunday at Tiffany's by James Patterson. And it was adorable. That's all I can say about it. A couple just honorable mentions, just fun reads. There was another Christina Lauren, Love in Other Words. And this is about best friends that turn into lovers. And as kids, they would spend their time together in a closet that they turned into a library, and were packing it with books. And then they love to share their favorite words with each other. So if you love books and words like I do, I mean, this was just fun. I didn't love it like I loved The Unhoneymooners, but it was a good read. And then just as far as, this reminds me of me and my mom. We like to watch Hallmark movies together, those romance Hallmark movies. And you know exactly what's going to happen. It's not a lot of thinking. I wouldn't say it's like just beautiful, poetic, prose and writing, but they're just fun. Like, these are the kind of books that, when I'm just out laying by the pool with friends and you can just read and stop and talk and interact. You're not like lost in the book, but it's fun. To me, these kind of books are just summertime, sitting on the beach, sitting by the pool, just something fun to read. It's not taxing on the brain like reading some of the classics and stuff. Just fun books and just feel good books. And the older I get, the more that's more important to me. I've had enough drama and adventure and stuff in my life. Sometimes I just want to feel good, just be happy, and I always like to leave you with, life is a gift. Life is beautiful. If you'll just allow yourself to see it, go outside. I try to get out into nature every day, go for a walk and hear the birds singing, feel the sun on my face, smell the fresh pine. Like you saw me in my video the other day, I'll take a little pine, crumple it up and just smell it. Matter of fact, the other day, I didn't show this, but remember when we hiked up to the top of the mountain. If you didn't see that video, I think it was entitled something like Secret Book or something, special place, something along those lines. But we hiked to the top of the mountain where I keep a chair up there and like to read. And I took off my shoes and I just stepped on the ground because I didn't want to forget that moment. And I took time to let the sun feel it on me, to breathe the air, because I was trying to like lock that memory in, feel the beauty, see the beauty, put my focus on the beauty that is life. And when you hold those kind of energies and frequencies, it stays with you. My friends, it's beautiful. Just a little bit of love runs out that darkness, my friends. It's beautiful. You are beautiful. I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed this, let me know. We can do more romance novels and books that make grown men cry. All right, guys, I love you.